afternoon. I'm here with Ms. Charna DeVoe, and she is the HR Advisor 2 Lead Facilitator, Facilitator of Customer Service Training here at the local utility company. I'm conducting an interview to explore what the career in human resources is like and what one would need to do in college or graduate school in order to prepare for success in this field. I'd like to start by asking who or what inspired you to get into customer care operational training and support?
I think for the most part, the inspiration was really self-motivated, I think human resources has been, because that's my background, has been something I've always been a part of. I've just always been a people person. So I think just who I am inspired me to go into this. And then, of course, the fact that sometimes you're just slotted into your role. So I got slotted into this role, and I'm just making the best of it.
You're comfortable now?
I'm very comfortable.
Great. That's great. Okay, so what educational backgrounds do you feel are most beneficial to the organization?
Well, for our organization, it is probably a science background. But in our area or in the group that I'm in, I think a business acumen is very important. Especially when you're dealing with the organization as a whole and how you become a part of it. Right. Business kind of gives you a gambit. And when you deal with business administration, it kind of gives you a gambit of all the aspects that businesses partake in.
Oh, okay. I can understand that. So what is your educational background?
I have a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration and a Master's in Organizational Management.
Oh, perfect. So let's see, how well did your college experiences prepare you for this job?
I think college prepares everybody for a job. I think that when you talk about the specialty of what an individual does, it's a combination. Education gave me the understanding of how I fit in the organization and how I should align, or how strategies align themselves in the organization. But I think personality really prepares you for what it is that you do.
Really? Personality. Okay.
Yep. Especially in our line of work. Customer service requires a customer service personality.
Right. So it takes a special
yes,
kind of
it
person.
does. It does.
Okay, so if you were a college student again, is there anything you would do differently to prepare for this job?
I think so. I think I would be more math oriented. Statistics come into play, and I would take as much math as possible. And additionally, I would have taken Spanish to the point of conversation. I think that as we move forward, multilingual or multilingual individuals will become the forefront or the forerunners in regard to businesses. We have a diverse community, and we need individuals to be able to address those communities at all levels throughout the organization.
I agree. I really do. So how do you feel about your role in this organization?
I think when I first started in this role, I didn't really understand the magnitude of it. But as I've been in this role now for 3 years, and I'm beginning to understand that customer care or customer care consultants, although individuals may see them as, low on the totem pole, they're really essential in the success of any business. So my paradigm has shifted from thinking I was just here to answer questions or prepare people to answer questions. We're really helping individuals maintain and manage life products, electric, water, and sewer. And in essence, I think when you talk about that, customer service really is the face of any organization. If you have a customer service department, I think, or human resources is also the face of the organization, because it says from an employee perspective how we feel about you.
Exactly. Exactly. So what kind of hours do you normally work?
I probably work on average between 40 to 50 hours a week. And I think it all depends upon what tasks we have at hand, what strategies we're trying to convey, and the dynamics of the organization. During storm season, I work more hours. I look on average, I really want my work to speak for itself. So for most people that could be done in 8. I'm not saying that I'm not efficient, but if I'm in the classroom 8 hours of the day, then there are some things I have to take care of. So I can work anywhere from an 8 to 12 hour day. And I do work on weekends. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, and also, what is the role of communication in this career?
Communication is key in the career that I have. And the reason I say that is because um, we help formulate the way in which our organization's belief is conveyed, our organization's practices are conveyed. And when you talk about conveyance and understanding, communication is the only tool or portal that can come through.
Right.
So I think in this role, communication, if I looked at it from a percentage, communication is 80 to 85% of the job. The other part is knowledge.
Oh, wow. Big difference. So let's see, what are the major responsibilities in your role for the organization, and how are you measured for your performance?
My major responsibilities are to train our customer care consultants and to create curriculum for them. How I'm measured by the success of classes. I'm measured, in essence, by the development of individuals. I mean, it's one thing to be able to help them do their job. It's another thing to develop them to the point where they can go past what it is you prepare them to do. I think promotion is a form of measurement as to whether an individual is able to go on to other things. That's key. I'm measured performance-wise by not only the success of the class, but how many contact hours I have with the class. I'm measured by the things in which I produce curriculum-wise, because we have goals that are set every year, and usually in those goals there are key elements in which I'm supposed to be a part of or produce. This year our key goal was to train our field service personnel in light of customer service techniques, and so I had to develop the curriculum and or the training tool for that.
Oh, okay. So outside of the regular customer service spectrum.
Right, and this probably will end up going organizational wide for those individuals that deal with our customers, vendors included.
Right. Okay. Just one brief intermission. I just want to make sure my camera's still recording. Great. Okay. So okay. Thank you. And to continue on here, what would you say contributed to your success in the organization, or what actions have you taken that has accounted for the most of your success within this organization?
I think being flexible. I think just being able to accept responsibility and be accountable for what it is you do has helped me be successful. I've been with this organization going on 15 years, and where I started is not where I ended, and probably not where I'm going to end my career. I think having goals in each role that you set, understand what it is you contribute, I think those are key to be successful on a personal level. You got to know what you're made of.
Right.
I think when you move throughout the organization, you know, there are some roles that are not as glamorous as others, but you have to find the silver lining in everything and be able to make it your niche. I make stuff my own, and in doing so, it then becomes something that's personal, which then motivates me a little bit differently than it would somebody else who's just doing a job. This is a career for me. This pays my bills, number one. But it also says who I am and defines me. Some individuals may say that their job shouldn't define them, but the attributes I bring to the job, or the people in which I touch, and the successes in which I've had with them defines who I am. So I think the success my success in an organization is understanding that I'm trying to create a legacy.
That's great. So is it safe to say you enjoy your job?
I love it.
Okay, great. So what are the biggest challenges of the job?
People are always the biggest challenges, and I think one of the things that I think has been a challenge for me is understanding that not everybody thinks outside the box. So trying to change the way people operate, because that's unfortunately what it is I have to do. I'm not trying to change who they are. I just have to change the way in which they think. And people are kind of rooted in their own philosophies.
Right.
I think sometimes personality conflicts become challenging, especially from a trainer perspective, because
Okay, so to pick up where we left off here, what is the best way to obtain a position that will, well, actually, I'm going to go back to the last question, just in case, which was what kinds of experience, paid or unpaid, would you encourage for anyone pursuing a career in this field? And we did pick up on, as far as training, to look at teachers, if it's a child, look at the teachers and parents and,
Professors at the college level.
right, and then if it was a paid experience,
Right.
it
It would just be to start off at entry level.
right, entry-level position and job shadowing.
Right.
And the next question is, what is the best way to obtain a position that will get someone started in this occupation?
Usually, when you move to the trainer piece, in most organizations, you start out on the call center floor. So starting out in entry level is the best way. If you're willing to learn a new organization, then being in human resources helps. You learn how to deal with people, you learn about policy, you learn about contracts and things along those lines, and in essence, the business.
Right.
So human resources might be a way in which to come into this business. Public administration might be a way in which to address this business, because you kind of have to do the, understand the organization. Marketing may be a good way to come into this business, because you do, depending upon the organization, have to sell what it is, you know, sell your company's philosophies,
Right.
what have you. Being in a community-oriented type job might be able to help you. But training as a whole, it all depends upon what the organization is looking for. Are you dealing with specific skill sets, or are you just trying to show them how to operate a particular application? So it all depends upon the type of training that you're doing that determines what type of background you need. But I always say, come up from the bottom, because you learn the business from the floor up.
I agree. And let's see. That brings us to, what is the best advice you could give someone that is aspiring to follow your career path?
Know yourself. Know your strengths. If this is something that you want to do, start off where you're at. If you want to be a trainer, then start where you, if you're in a call center already, why don't you learn an application and train somebody else? If given an opportunity to help in a training class, learn how that's done. Write policy, get on special projects where you may help write policy, so that you can be able to explain that to somebody else. If given an opportunity to mentor an individual, coach an individual, all of those attributes are helpful when you try to become a trainer. So, but knowing that this is something that you want to do, you can't just fall into this.
Right.
You've got to really want to do it, because it requires a lot of you. Training it's not just, someone said this to me a long time ago, training is really not just getting up in front of people and speaking. It's taking principles, foundations, theories, and applications, and helping someone to understand, which means you have to be able to reach them. So if you're looking to get into the career, I would always advocate, if you got kids, teach them.
Right.
Start with them, because you'll see whether or not you're really making the connection. Training is really about connecting stuff with people, helping them understand what it is you're trying to teach them. So teach whenever you can.
All right, I see. I can see that. I coach sometimes too, so
Yes, I am aware.
Okay.
Which is why I think in this situation that you would be, this might be a good career path for you. You do well in providing mentorship to our new hires. So I think that, if you decide that this is something that you want to do in the long run, then that's a good place to start. Start with your team. Change some paradigms in regard to the individuals that, you work with. Help them understand the way in which we do business, and align them with the organization's goals and or departmental goals as a whole.
Right. Okay. Okay, so let's see. And that pretty much sums it up here. That's the last question. Thank you so very much for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
And it's always a pleasure.
Always. Have a good day.
Thanks. You
You're
too.
welcome.